Welcome to the first 6 weeks of being a parent. Packet, we thought that she would be a hungrier baby, so we got her a semi-hungrier babies, and she had that for about 2 or 3 weeks, but then she just hated it, so she's now on Aptamil stage 1 for newborns. Particularly in Avril, she got very constipated with SMA, and so Aptamil, I would say, would be a better chosen brand for a baby. Advantages and disadvantages of breastfeeding and bottle feeding. Well, breastfeeding advantages, it doesn't cost, obviously. You can do it at any point, unless you're nervous when you're out and about, which is where the advantage of bottle feeding comes in. Also, bottle feeding is, I think it's easier for your baby to get the teat in their mouth so they can get the milk quicker. Disadvantages, obviously, bottle feeding will cost more. You have to sterilise the bottles before you can do it, so it's more time consuming, more money. Disadvantages of breastfeeding, for the first week it might be a bit uncomfortable. For the first day, because Avril was very hungry, it might hurt a little bit. Actual experience of birth, I had quite a traumatic birth, that's what the hospital said. I was a low forceps delivery. I lost about 800 millilitres of blood. My daughter, I was actually pushing for about 2 hours, I think, at least, and I had gas in it. I had an epidural as well, which I'm very grateful for. If I hadn't had the epidural when I had it, because I went into the delivery room at about 3 centimetres, asked for the epidural, the next thing that I knew, I was 9.5 centimetres in no time at all. If I hadn't had the epidural when I did, they wouldn't have been able to give it to me, and I would have had to have a low forceps delivery without any pain relief. Yeah, they did try and get her out with the ventouse first. I gave my consent for them to do that. But with the ventouse, they couldn't suction her head properly, they couldn't pull her out. And it actually turned out that the cord had been wrapped around her neck. So while my midwife was saying I wasn't pushing hard enough, I was doing my best. But the cord was obviously pulling her back in. As soon as she came out, like 2 seconds later, she was crying. So it couldn't have been constricting her airflow that much. I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, this is my first baby, but I had an episiotomy, obviously, to get the forceps in and the ventouse and, everything like that. And obviously, I was stitched up, and just the sight of looking down and just seeing someone with this, like, red wire going through, you just kind of think, what is going on? But, it healed. They're meant to dissolve these stitches, or sutures, whatever they call them, within 7 to 10 days. And I think mine fully healed within 2 weeks. A bit of a slow healer. Newborn smell, this will take your breath away. As soon as you smell your baby, it's a very downplayed, sort of distilled version of, dare I say it, your insides and genitals down their area. It's a very distilled, sweeter smell of what that would smell like. But it's very endearing, and it sort of draws you to your baby, and I couldn't get enough of that smell when she was born. At the moment, it's 6 weeks, she's asleep now, but during the day she tends to be awake for periods. When she was first born, she would have sort of a change, she'd have a feed, a change, another feed, and she'd go back to sleep for hours. Now she might have been asleep for maybe an hour at the moment if I'm lucky, but basically she has got into a routine where she will now feed and have a change, and either she'll go to sleep straight away and then wake up a bit later, or she will, after her feed, sit there, be sick, and then stay awake for 2 hours just gurgling at you, wanting you to gurgle back at her. She's actually developed a very small vocabulary, not proper words obviously, but things that sound a bit like abwa, and sometimes she goes ow and moo, mow. Any other quirks that she has, she tends to bashing her, this is the point, breastfeeding. When she was hungry, she used to bash her head on your chest, and that would show, that would show that she was interested in food. And nowadays, if she's hungry, her cry will be followed by her hand. Say she's here, her hand will sort of try and scratch your face, your lips, or the side of your neck here, and that's how you can tell that she's hungry. Telling the different cries. Now, when she's first born, I had no idea what the different cries mean. She's almost 7 weeks old, and I'm only just beginning to understand most of them. Like I said, the hunger cry is followed usually by scratching. There's the cry of pain, which obviously pain and frustration, which is obviously, you know, tears rolling down the cheeks, just really red in the face, just crying, crying, crying. Oh yeah, the lonely cry. Now, how to tell if your baby's lonely? Now, for Avril, if she's lonely, her cry won't be like a typical newborn cry. It will sound a bit lower in pitch, and it will sort of sound like she's joking around. So whereas she might be screaming and screaming for a hunger cry, the lonely cry sort of sounds like ah. It's odd. It's a bit like Chewbacca. I don't know. She used to do her lonely cry if I didn't go up to see her straight away when she started crying. Now she tends to do it when her dad's at work. That's about it from me. The next shot you will probably see of will be Avril. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. This is Avril asleep. At 6 weeks and 3 days. Awake, baby. You must speak. Avril, you gotta speak. To the monkey. Ah. Going to talk. Watch it, pants. Look at the camera.